Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today we are diving into Golub Capital's latest prospectus supplement, and I promise it's more thrilling than it sounds. Think of it as decoding Wall Street's version of a secret recipe. Only instead of cookies, it's about generating income from loans. Before we start, if you appreciate getting straight insights from corporate documents, make sure you're subscribed. We also have a Discord community linked in the description below. This document outlines how Golub Capital BDC, a company that lends money to middle market businesses, plans to sell up to $255 at the market offering, which basically means they'll sell shares gradually through sales agents like Keefe, Bruyette and Woods Inc. and Regions Securities LLC at prices related to the current market. The filing highlights that the sales agents will get a commission of up to 150% of the gross sales price. It's also worth noting that they can't sell the stock for less than the net asset value per share at the time of the sale. Let's talk about the numbers. As of May 15, 2025, Golub Capital's common stock closed at $14.94 per share. But the net asset value, or EMD, which is essentially the book value, was a bit higher at 15.4 per pairs as of key point, because the document warns that business development companies like Golub often trade at a discount to their EV. In simple English, it means if you buy now, there's a risk the stock could be worth less than the assets it represents. So you could increase the risk of loss of ours to 131.9, which is edified because the document warns that business development companies like Golub often trade at a discount to their NAV. In simple English, it means if you buy now, there's a risk the stock could be worth less than the assets it represents, so you could increase the risk of loss. Of course, there are risks involved. Investing in Golub Capital's common stock has risks, including the potential for leverage, as pointed out in the prospectus. This means the company borrows money to invest, which can amplify both gains and losses. Now let's get to the juicy part, fees and expenses. This prospectus supplement has some numbers about expenses. Imagine you're investing and you need to know how much it actually costs you. For example, the sales load, which is basically the commission the sales agents get, is up to 150% of the offering expense. Of zero is an estimated offering expense of 0.10%. And then you have to account for your annual expenses. It might seem confusing. The total annual expenses are 11.93%. If you think of it like this, for every $100 you invest, almost $12 goes to expenses each year. A big chunk of that goes to management fees, which are 215%. There are also incentive fees that they could be charging of fund eat up 7.44%. It's important to understand these expenses because they eat into your returns. So what does this all mean in real numbers? The filing also uses the table that shows what a hypothetical $1,000 investment would cost you over time, assuming a 5% annual return. Under 1 year, a $1,000 investment would result in $116 in expenses. If we jump to 10 years, this same investment would cost you 8 what an unseen. The numbers are there. As with any investment, there are forward-looking statements which are basically predictions about the future. The document says these statements involve risks and uncertainties, and actual results could differ materially. Some factors include overall economic trends and also the impact that outside factors may have on the industries in which they're investing. To get a quick snapshot of how Golub Capital BDC has been doing, we can look at the financial highlights. For the 6 months ended March 31, 2025, the net asset value was 15 per share, and the net investment income was 74 cents per share. And the net investment income was 74 cents per share. The total return based on market value was nearly 6%. This part of the filing dives into where the money from selling these new shares will go. Basically, they plan to use it to invest in more middle market companies following their existing strategies, but they also might use some of the funds to pay down debt or cover operating expenses. For those of you who are curious about the behind the scenes players, US Bank National Association serves as the custodian holding all the company's assets. Then Equiniti Trust Company handles the transfer of shares, dividend payments, and keeps records as the registrar. It's important to note that all of these entities are separate from Golub Capital, and they provide essential infrastructural support. So how are these shares actually going to be sold to the public? Keefe, Bruyette & Woods Inc. and Regions Securities LLC are the sales agents in this operation. The sales agents will receive a commission of up to 150% of the gross sales price per share of common stock sold. Again, you'll need to get all the details from your broker. Finally, Decadell and Kirkland and Ellis LT are the law firms handling the legal side of things. Decadell is representing Golub Capital BDC, and Kirkland and Ellis is representing the sales agents. Remember, we didn't cover every single aspect of this document. For more details, including the risks, financial tables, and other information, you can check out their annual report on Form 10K for the fiscal year ended September 30, 2024, which has been incorporated by reference. So putting it all together, what's the final verdict? Golub Capital BDC appears to be strategically positioning itself to raise capital and continue its lending operations. The company's stock may trade at a discount, so investors need to be aware of the risks involved. And ultimately, Golub Capital BDC is an externally managed company which may cause conflicts of interest, but also has very large portfolio, as well as institutional financial support with a steady track record. This prospectus is not an offer to sell securities, but rather a notice that more shares may become available, with the sales commission being up to 145, as well as institutional financial support with a steady track record. This prospectus is not an offer to sell securities, but rather a notice that more shares may become available, with the sales commission being up to 1.50%, while no return on investment is guaranteed. Keep in mind that past data is not indicative of future success. Do your own research. Alright, that's our breakdown of Golub Capital BDC's latest prospectus supplement. What's your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to cap the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.